Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm glad that whoever is watching is here, and I'm glad to speak to you guys. I kind of want to explain, I'm just going to get right into this YouTube video. I don't want to make it dramatic. I don't want to make it extra. I am very dedicated to personal development. If you are particularly a female who is interested in personal development and who is young or who is looking for a beneficial perspective from another beneficial female, I think that this is the channel for you. My experience has been that I don't have any female friends. I don't really have any friends, right? Like I have people that I like talking to, particularly that are a lot older than I am and more experienced than I am, but I don't have women my age who are my friends. And the reason why is because none of them are in the same mindset as me. I can't talk about things that I'm interested in with them because they don't understand, right? So my intent with this channel is to, in a sense, be a friend to the women that are in a similar position as I am. Because it's been hard for me in a lot of different ways to accept that I am different, that I have a different perspective, and that a lot of people aren't going to understand. And I'm going to be lonely to a certain extent for a certain amount of time because of that. Whenever I was in school, I had like one main friend, and we would talk about business ideas, we would talk about ideas, and but none of it really came into fruition. And so I ended up stopping being friends with her. I didn't know how to communicate. And so now I don't really have any friends, but I have a fiance who is able to help me with that. And we are becoming more and more on the same page every single day. We have the same end goal, the same focus, to be free of the government's programming, to have actual freedom and control over our lives, and to become the best individuals that we can be, and to create a legacy and to create individuals who will help millions of people. And so I just want to give a preface to that. I want to say, if you are, I do plan on doing like beauty videos, health and wellness videos. I enjoy exercising. I do intend on making videos about exercise. I really like beauty. I really like health, personal maintenance. I enjoy brushing my teeth. I enjoy routines. I enjoy keeping things tidy and clean. I enjoy embracing femininity, and I embrace masculinity as well, and my fiance and my partner. So yeah, that's what my channel is about. Just a little bit about me. I want to explain the position that I'm in. I'm a young female. I'm 19 years old. I just turned 19 in July. I graduated from high school in 2021. So last year, right? So I'm very, very young. I'm kind of inexperienced. I feel very inexperienced, but I am incredibly dedicated to self-development, improvement. I actively read on a regular basis and try to apply what I have learned to the real world that I experience. And my life has just recently been like this. I've just reached a new level of my own personal reality, and I'd like to I would like to share that experience. So, I read, I journal. I have my journal right here. I keep this book with me. I try and educate myself as much as I can. I am helping my fiance to build a power washing business. It's called Captain Power Washing. Right now, my situation is I work at a club. I work at a car wash called Club Car Wash, and I basically work part-time, but I'm working towards becoming an assistant manager. I was an assistant manager at a Dairy Queen, and I was required to work 48 hours a week, and oftentimes I would work over 48 hours a week and not get paid for the overtime that I did. I felt like I was being manipulated by the people above me, and that the people above me I realized that they weren't actually free. I realized that they were just higher level employees who had a higher salary than I did, and I was not interested in following their footsteps because I knew I was being manipulated by them. And I hated it. There were parts that I enjoyed, and there were beneficial things that I learned for sure, but there was a lot of times where I cried going into work. There was a time where I went behind the dumpster and I screamed and I cried because I hated my life and I hated my job. And I had gotten into this position where I believed in the value of self-development. I worked my way up from a person who made ice cream to a shift lead to an assistant manager, and I was starting to take over the store manager responsibilities, and I realized I hated it. And so now I'm in this position where I am the most secure out of my age group, right? Because I'm not 20. I'm not even 20 yet, right? And I'm still working. I'm not rich, but I intend on being there. But I'm in this position where out of my age group and out of women who have the same position as me, I am the most secure, most self-disciplined, most educated female out of all of my peers. Even the ones that go to college. Like, I work with this one girl who goes to college, and she just knows about college. She just knows about what she studies, but she doesn't know about self-development. You know, she reads sometimes, but just to keep her occupied, she's not actually looking at it towards a goal. And the reason, I want to explain the reason why I am secure and the reason why I have as many options as I do to do what I want and to be free of the government's programming is because I have had masculine help. I was raised by my dad, and I had an older brother, and now I live with my fiance, and he has helped me to become the person that I have become. I've known him for 3 years. We've been together for like a couple years, and our relationship is the most valuable relationship to me that I have. You know, it's very, very important to me, and I try my best to take very good care of him. It hasn't always been like that. I haven't always done the things that I'm speaking about, but because of my recent realizations, I have gotten to the point where I wake up pretty consistently, pretty early. You know, I always wake up before 9 a.m., before 8 a.m. I wake up, I make him breakfast, I clean up the kitchen, I make him coffee, I go to work, I don't go to work, it depends on the day. I make sure that the house is clean, I make sure that all the basic shit is taken care of. This is all basic. Like, I used to think it was a big deal. I used to think that it was extra, but it's not extra, right? I take care of the house. I make sure that the litter box is clean. I make sure that things are taken care of. I make sure that there is food in the fridge, and I make sure it's healthy food, pretty healthy. You know, I meal prep. I make dinner. I give back massages pretty consistently, multiple times a week. I give things sometimes whenever I don't want to because I make sacrifices. And that looks different for a male versus compared to a female. I am loyal. I have lots of sexual options, and I know that, but I choose to be loyal and I choose to be exclusive because it's very valuable to me, and I have that principle, and I think a lot of young women don't understand that. And so that's my situation. And so I'm able to have a delayed paycheck. I was supposed to get paid on Friday, and now it's Wednesday, and I still don't have my paycheck. And the reason why I'm not stressing about it and pulling my hair out is because I have a stable, successful male who is valuable to me and who I am valuable to and who is supporting me. I'm supposed to have the check soon, but you know, I'm waiting. I do have money on my credit card, but it's like less than $200, right? I always have it paid off. So it's like, I've gotten to this point because I have seriously studied the role of success for males and females. So I understand what that looks like for a male, and I understand what that looks like for a female. My whole entire life, I was very competitive. I was in debate. I won first place trophies. I was a debate captain. I was incredibly competitive. I was incredibly wired to think if there's anything a man can do, I can do it better or equal to. You know, like, it doesn't matter my gender. I can compete in these fields. I can become successful. My plan was to get a software engineering degree and work my way up from the bottom of Apple and become CEO because I thought I loved Apple. And then I realized this is all a joke. You know, I quit Dairy Queen because I had that same mindset, those same priorities. I quit Dairy Queen, didn't have a job for a couple weeks, and I realized I'm screwing up. I'm messing up. If I keep on traveling down this path, yeah, I might think that I'm a successful female. Yeah, I might think that I'm a boss bitch, but really I'm just not valuable. So I realized I need to be changing my mindset. I need to be changing my self-education. I need to be focusing on my body and sustaining my beauty and my attractiveness. I need to be helping my fiance get to the level of success that he wants to get to, because the more that I invest in him, the more that he invests in me, and it matters for my future family. I get that women are hypergamous, and so it's like there's a lot of things that go into what I just said, but I had that switching point for me. Whenever you're in school, the government controls the educational system. The government gives each state a list of requirements, educational requirements that the teachers are required to teach to their students, and they have to prove on paper that their students have passed those subjects, or else they'll lose their job, right? So their employees, like everybody else, they don't actually practice what they preach the majority of the time, and they teach men and women the exact same things. They say your career is going to be one of the most important things that you're ever going to have in your life. You should raise your hand to speak. You should ask to use the restroom. You have to get along in your groups. You should respectfully disagree. All these types of things. They tell men and women the same things. Not once did I think that I would be happy and fulfilled with becoming a mother and with submitting to a husband who is more capable to me. I thought, because I'm naturally hypergamous, and I was a successful female. I had a really good GPA. I graduated with honors. I was like a teacher's pet. I always did what I was supposed to. I was competitive. I'm somewhat intelligent. I was like, I want a man who isn't going to underperform me. And that ended up being my current fiance. But then I realized if I'm not even, it's not fulfilling for me to be the best in my career and have respect and be a boss bitch. It's not fulfilling for me. Like, it can be fulfilling because I feel productive, but I want to have babies. I want to live in a mansion that I helped a man, like, that it's like my fiance doesn't need me. I understand that, because he is actually like a higher value male. He's not rich yet, and he's not like the most successful male, but he definitely, I believe in him 110%. And so it's like, I want to create an atmosphere for him where he can trust me no matter what, and he knows that I am dedicated to our future children. He knows that I'm loyal to him, and he loves me, he respects me, he pours into me. And so it's like, it has really changed my life that this has been my path. And so I want to speak to young women, and I want to say that you should really consider your value as a woman and what you bring to the table as a woman, because I'm going to tell you here, it's not your income. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter, because if you focus on your career, which is really a job typically most of the time, right? You can be dedicated to it. I totally understand being competitive, being dedicated, being driven, waking up every single day, making sacrifices to develop something that you believe is valuable. I get that. But to a man who is able to provide you stability and safety, you don't want to have to wake up and go to work every single morning. Like, if you genuinely try and improve yourself and become a better human being, and if you try and make yourself more attractive naturally, and you try and become a better human being in attempts of genuinely finding a man who is going to value and care for you and respect for you, it will be so much more fulfilling than trying to chase a paycheck. The government tells you that you should develop your career and help other people and pour into your community. And that's great and all, but the government is designed to teach you a certain method of thinking, to keep you enslaved, to keep you in a paycheck job, to keep you in a cycle of consumerism, and to keep you working for the rest of your life. Now they can do it to women because women can work now. Women used to not be able to work. So now, instead of maybe half of the population, maybe a little bit less than half of the population enslaved, it's all of the population. So my message is, from my personal experience, I'm not in college, because I realized that college is more so about programming you with a specific method of thinking and a specific agenda, rather than it is gaining skills and experience. Yes, you do that in college. Yes, you do. College is beneficial. I'm not disregarding college entirely, but it is personally not for me. Because of my personal experience and the fact that I get to take off work, I don't even have to work right now. I didn't have a job for almost a month, and I was fine. And I got to go to Pilates. You know what I'm saying? I get to enjoy stuff like this, and I'm only 19 years old. And I have a very promising future ahead of me if I stay valuable. And so my message is, I want young women like me to understand and at least just consider their value as a woman. Don't throw yourself away to men. Like I always valued myself in that. And I have had experiences where I thought I was missing out because I've only been with one man, right? Like I've stayed exclusive to one male. I just want young women to consider their value and what they bring to the table. Just research it. Just research what women provide to society, what women actually are biologically ingrained to do. Because government agendas like feminism they're not designed to help you. They're designed to make money for the government. And so I hope that my video was beneficial, and I hope that younger women who are in a similar position to me can find my content and hopefully benefit from it. That's my intention with this video, and I intend on making more and developing them and making them better. And I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to share my experience on the internet. So I'll go ahead and leave it at that.